Hey friends, what's good? Welcome to Storytime. So today's story is kind of, I've got to set it up quite a bit. There's a few things that are going to go on in this story, and I'll try to keep it straight. But like I said, I don't edit these. It's like a one take deal. If the dogs bark, if I get the facts wrong and I got to go back a bit, forgive me. That's how I tell stories. So I'm calling this story, Maybe I Should Have Listened to My Husband. This time, I should have listened to my husband. So let's go back to 2023 when, on a snowy December day, we were pulling our rig off a mountain logging block and we rolled the truck over a mountain and survived. But that being said, after the rollover, I started to feel a few things I didn't address because I don't go to doctors. I spent a lot of time and a lot of years with doctors. I just don't go anymore. Unless I've got a bone sticking out, I'm not going to anywhere. I'll just go to Emerge. So I was feeling a lot of kind of pains, especially in my knees. And they weren't feeling as strong as they should. But from the accident and the way that things happened, I could see why I might have hurt my knees. But so I was trying to kind of figure out, this was back when I was just starting my journey. I'd already lost some weight. I'd already been on a regular regiment of, biking and hiking and doing all sorts of exercises just to get stronger and fit. And the dog and I, we spent probably a good year at this one place, and our walk was getting so boring. Like it was literally, I couldn't do anything to make it exciting anymore. It was just the same sort of places and up the same part of that mountain, and it was getting boring. I think it was boring for her too. There was only so many kilometers you can walk before you think, I got to find something else. So this this at this time in my life, it was winter, yes, because we're going into winter. So we had snow, we had cold. It was kind of rough. It was a really hard winter for us living in the big 40-foot Winnebago. And one night we had a power outage, and I remember going out into the hall. I think Dave was getting ready to go to sleep for the night, for work or something. It was something like that. And the power went out, so I opened the breaker box, which lands on the floor, the box lid, and then I forgot that the box was open and I tripped over it and I fell and my right leg went the wrong way. So I tore my meniscus, I popped my kneecap, and at the same time I also did something to my left knee, and I thought, this is the worst pain I've ever been through, I thought. But so I had to recover. Like I'm quite fit, but I felt like, wow, this is going to set me back a lot. And it did. I was wearing two knee braces and on crutches for a good 3 months. Started physical therapy with a friend online who was absolutely incredible, Beyond Recovery on Instagram. And I started to feel stronger, and that right leg was starting to get better. I mean, the left one was a little iffy, but the kneecaps were starting to feel like they were getting like back in place, and the meniscus tear was starting to heal. And I did a lot of recovery, so much recovery. And one day I said to Dave, I was so bored with my walks. I said, I'm off the crutches now. I'm still in the braces, but I just need to go for a walk. And he was very concerned because he kept thinking, that injury, it's not fully healed yet. And because I'm so stubborn, I thought, no, I think we're good. I could probably walk, no problem. So I said to him, I'm going to take the dog for a walk, and I didn't know how far I'd go. And he says to me, because we lived on a highway where it was the only highway in and out, it was very fast. I think it was an 80 to 100-kilometer highway. So things, big logging trucks and rigs were always coming down the highway. And across the highway was a beautiful swamp. And there was herons and eagles and turtles and things that I really loved to look at. And I thought, I don't want to walk on the back road today. But Dave said to me, listen, babe, don't cross the highway today. And I was like, okay. I actually let it go right over. Let it go right over. When you've been married to someone for a long time, sometimes they know you better than you know yourself, or maybe they've got some sort of premonition. There's something he did because I neglected to listen to Dave that day. And in my one brace, and I was thinking, yeah, we've got this. Let's just cross the highway. At this time, I'd also had Tuck because Dave's mother had passed away, so I had the two dogs. So picture this: one girl, knee brace, two-lane highway, two dogs. I thought, no, I'm crossing. I want to go to the swamp. I gotta go and see the turtles. I don't care. Like, let's just do this. I need to do something exciting. No, it wasn't going to happen that way. So the first push off was fine. Felt like knees were strong. Landed on my right leg and it buckled. And I went down in the middle of the highway. And I looked to my right, and 800 feet away is a semi coming. I, I'm not kidding you guys. I have never in my life crawled with my fingers. Like I am holding dogs, pulling myself across the highway, dragging myself to get off the highway, praying, please God, don't let that semi hit me. Please let him see me. He's honking. I'm scrambling with my fingers to get across the highway. I literally get across the highway, do one of those rolls. I'm still holding the dogs, which thank God because they could have been just gone. I get across the highway, and the first thing in my mind is pain. Like I'm screaming bloody murder across the highway, holding two dogs that didn't know what was going on, and there's still traffic like coming from both sides. People were starting to slow down. Like I'm on the side of the road, like in so much agony. So what had happened is I tore both the meniscus again at the same time, coming down hard the one time. The second leg went down, basically crying and screaming. My neighbor across the way heard me screaming, comes racing down in his vehicle. Everybody's trying to, safely get me into the vehicle and off the side of the highway. Oh, I didn't want to go home. I, because I did a no-no. It was just, I should have listened to him. He didn't do the I told you so. He just felt like something was off that day. And from that point on, I literally listened to every word he said to me because I thought, man, this guy loves me or he knows something. I ended up having to go back into recovery for my knees for months and months and months. And so that's what prompted me to get into bodybuilding, was because the amount of energy I was putting into my body to fix my knees, I was also fixing my ankles and my shoulders. I thought, let's just go all in. Let's just make this big change. And so that's kind of what prompted it. But I should have listened to Dave. He was right this time. He was probably right more times than not. But yeah, so I'm well recovered. Nobody got killed. I think I gave the semi a heart attack. The driver was probably like, no. But yeah, so that's my story. And so maybe listen to your hubby or your wife. They might be right. They might have some sort of inkling that there's something going on. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So God bless you guys. Thanks for listening. 8 minutes and 33 seconds. They're getting a little longer because, I think a good story could go for a few minutes, a few extra minutes. Anyways, have a great day, you guys, and God bless you. And like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell for notifications. All right? Take care.